Hey, everybody. Carol Filion here, host of Badass Banter. So happy you're here with us. Badass Banter, as some of you know, is a hybrid of group discussion and podcast interviews. And this week, it's a podcast interview with a twist and a treat. So, more on that in a moment. So, we'll be streaming on the Badass Revolution group. For those of you that are already here, you already know that. But also on the Badass Banter YouTube channel. So you can post your questions in the Facebook group, and hopefully, I believe they'll show up here, hopefully, and we'll try to answer them as they come in. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Carol Filion. I'm a mindset coach and mentor. And what I do is I help mature women release their inner badass and give themselves permission to reconnect with their God given greatness, which is what makes my guest today so perfect for this interview. In a moment, I'll be bringing on Jen Strub. And her journey, her yoga journey, started from the inside out, spiritual to the physical side, almost 20 years ago. And she's been teaching for about 10 years now. Starting yoga in her late 30s, she found yoga to be challenging for her inflexible body. But she knew the benefits of yoga for mobility and relaxation. So she kept trying. And we're so glad she did, because she's going to have so much to teach us today. Her practices are gentle flow yoga and are great for all levels, especially beginners. That she presents in a non-judgmental environment that leaves no one behind. Please help me welcome to the virtual stage, Jen Strub.
Hey, Carol. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm awesome. How about you?
Oh, great. Thank you. So good to see you. And you look like you're in much sunnier climes than we're in.
Yes, I'm
You're
down here in Paradise, Florida. Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So this is going to be great. Actually, very inspiring. We're hoping for that kind of weather to be right around the corner for us. All right. So we talked about in your introduction, you talk about having been involved in yoga for about 20 years and you've been teaching for the last 10. Let's start from the beginning. How were you introduced to yoga in the first place?
Yeah, like the intro says, Carol, I started from the inside out. So, 20 years ago, I was having a lot of anxiety and stress, depression, all that good stuff. And I was listening to a lot of and reading a lot of spiritual mentors at the time. Dr. Wayne Dyer is number one on my list for that, and Louise Hay, and all the Hay House authors. I don't have time to name them all, but they kept talking about the benefits of yoga.
Mhm.
And I had tried yoga in my 20s, and it just was embarrassing. And but they kept coming back to it and back to it. I'm like, you know what, these guys know what they're talking about. Maybe I'll just go with a buddy and we'll try it again. And so I did yoga for about 10 years and I really enjoyed it. I love the mindfulness on the mat. And a lot of people were using it as like a workout sort of situation, but I was doing it the other way around. And then it just turned into, it was going into the gym to do yoga because there wasn't a lot of spaces, and it just didn't feel right to me. And then the instructors I was just kind of wanting to go in a different direction than this whole workout part of it. I wanted to bring in the quotes. I wanted to bring in more mindfulness, the breathing and all that, and get more into the spiritual again, not so much the physical. So, and Carol, just to let you know, I am not a flexible person by nature at all.
Okay.
I've got to stretch it out every day. I never did dance or ballet growing up. I'm not one of those kids, super flexible. So this is not easy for me as well, Carol.
Right.
So, I did a lot of these yoga classes, and I did get hurt a few times because I was listening to my ego at the
Ah.
time. Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Listening to the ego, not the mind. And my body at the time. So I it just wasn't keeping up, and it just I thought, you know what? I'm sure there's other people like that, like me out there, that just want to do yoga, the spiritual part, and not do this whole, 50 push ups at a time sort of thing. So that's why I thought, you know what? I'm going to start teaching my own kind of yoga. And so that's when we're Zen with Jen. Actually, not only is it a fun term, it rhymes with my name, the Zen part, but there was another yoga instructor in town that people were going to, and she was intense. So I didn't
Not
want
Zen.
to go, yeah, we're not going there. So you come out of there, you're sopping, wet, like it was just a power workout. It was like a super CrossFit thing going on.
Wow.
It was great in your 30s and whatever, but in the 40s, just you don't have time to any kind of injuries. So I wanted people to know that we won't be doing that kind of yoga. We're not sitting on our head. We're not, doing 50 push-ups. We're not putting our foot behind our head anytime soon. We're just doing a nice flow. So that's why I thought Zen with Jen is perfect.
Oh, really is, because you touched on so many points that resonated with me, and I'm sure with a lot of other people that will be watching this or are watching this, because it was the same thing with me. I did yoga in my 20s, 30s, and then kind of stopped for a while. And then when I um, tried to get back into it, all I could seem to find was hot yoga. And I'm sorry, I was going through menopause at the time. Going for a walk was hot yoga. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, no thanks. So it was really, so I thought, oh, okay, I'll do it on my own. Well, I hadn't done it in a while. And let me tell you, when you've been away from yoga and you figure, oh, I'll just do a couple sun salutations, it was not graceful. Fortunately, I was by myself, but that's where what you said about your ego,
Mm-hmm.
right? Listening to your ego rather than listening to your body. So that actually, yeah, makes all the difference in the world. And I'm going to cut to the chase and let everybody know that there's a really cool GIF that is uploading as we speak that Jen has so graciously given all of us, and it'll be in the Badass Banter YouTube channel. We recorded 35 minutes, actually, a 35-minute class last December after getting all the technology issues out of the way. My stress level was up here, but Jen brought me right down to the Zen level that I needed to be at. So it was fantastic. So that class is actually, like I said, uploading to the YouTube channel as we speak. So it's not quite there yet. It will be by the time we have finished this. But I can definitely speak to I can testify that it really is a very gentle yet effective approach. That's what I liked about it, because I did feel better. It was almost like that the whole technology issues with Zoom and everything else were preordained in order to kind of prime me for that class. Because by the time, like, 5 minutes into it, I was already feeling a difference. And then we watched it again, right, independently. We watched this thing again, went, "There's a lot of good stuff in this." So, you are definitely on the right path when it comes to making yoga accessible for everyone, and that's what I loved about it. It just took away any, I was, "Yeah, I don't really care what I look like because this is really fun."
Yeah.
That's I would imagine is your goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the nice thing about doing it at home too, Carol. It's always great to go to a class and to have an instructor that might help you out on the mat as well. But at home you really do get to kind of go inside and feel your body out as you go through the poses and go, yeah, that doesn't feel quite right today. I'm just going to kind of modify that, just back it off. I'm not worried about getting into the twist, just like the lady is next door to me, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I think I said that to you on the video too. Mind your own business, Carol. Just don't worry about what's going on somebody else's mat. Listen to your own body. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Because for me, it was the balance thing. It's like all over the map. Right?
And you know what? If you're just
It was
going on
fun.
your one foot for, a few seconds, and
Yeah.
just side to side, it's all anything longer or bringing that leg up any higher, it's all kind of gravy. You've got the little bit of balance, just play off it and just, yeah, don't listen to the harsh words about it. Because, yeah, if you're balancing, you're doing it. And that's great. And you can just build up from there and have fun. That's the most important part of it
Awesome.
all. If you're all, you see some of these people, like they're just so intense when they do things. You ever seen a runner? Like I've been watching a lot of runners in the park too. I'm like, they look miserable. I'm like, that doesn't look like you're not selling that.
I know. I know. When I go for my morning walk, it's the same thing. The people who are walking, I was like, good morning, good morning, good morning. The runners are like, I am focused. Okay, yes, you are. I'm
Yeah, I
impressed.
don't know what's going on, but yeah,
It's a nanosecond. Hello.
yeah. And I love those type A's that come to my class. They're like, no, I can't. There's no way I can sit still for like 30, 40 minutes. There's no way. And then they come to my class and yeah, I can't get rid of them now. So it's really cool to see. I love it. My one buddy is just so hardcore. She was what I was talking about. And now she just loves the gentle yoga and listening to her body. Yeah, and that's just what it's all about. That I love that, and just showing people that yeah, you can do yoga. Everybody can do yoga. And
Yeah.
what yoga means, Carol, is breath and movement. So we've been doing it our whole lives. We're just giving it a more organized, sequence and fashion, and giving a purpose and intention as we go along in the poses. So yeah.
And I think what I really, really enjoyed too is that they were small but deliberate movements. Like even just like the tilting of the head, keeping the shoulder down, but that kind of thing. And then just kind of getting in touch with what is happening. Right?
Yeah.
What's happening? This, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of a pull here. Oh, maybe it's in a little in my shoulder. Okay. So where you can kind of pick up where some of the tension or some stuff might be living in
Hmm.
your body, right? That you can just kind of slowly and gently just release it.
Yeah.
And I love that about it because like I said, they're small but very deliberate and very intentional
Hmm.
movements.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference. It's almost meditative.
Yes. And I do a form of yoga. We haven't talked about it yet, Carol, but it's on my YouTube channel. Very meditative yoga that I do. Very long, slow poses. It's called Yin, YIN, and that is perfect for somebody who just needs to slow down, but great for the person that wants to multitask at the same time.
Yeah, right? And this is a meditative yoga.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
just
And you
really
said that's on your YouTube channel, so we'll
yeah,
make sure that we'll put that link in the
yes.
comments as well,
Yeah,
because
it's in
that
that link tree. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, yeah, so when, here's some common things that you hear and you've already touched on it, right? It's like, "Oh, Jen, I can't do yoga. I tried it. I sucked."
Mhm.
And I didn't realize you were actually recording me when I said that. No, I'm kidding.
Gotcha.
But what say you to those people?
Yeah, but you know what? Try it again. Maybe you did do it before, but try it again and do it this way. And just be mindful throughout the practice and just listening, like we're just talking about. Just listen to your body. If, yeah, that doesn't feel quite right, just back off, go to the other side, try the other side, and just slowly get into it. Like I said, we're not going to be standing on our heads. We're not going to be doing anything that we don't need to.
Right.
We're not in our 20s and 30s anymore. We're doing very practical
Mhm,
movements,
mhm.
gentle flow. And it's just about the breath and the movement and listening to your body.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, I know that, and I don't think it actually made it to the video, so I'll bring it up here, is that you had suggested that, because I said my challenge was balance. That's
Mm,
the one that is just, if I don't have like a bar to hang on to, like, I mean, not a
yeah.
bar, like drink bar, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Not that. That's after yoga. No, I'm kidding. No, but if I don't have like a shelf or something to hang on to, that's where it's difficult. But you had suggested something really simple to build up to it that, when you're brushing your teeth, it's a habit. You're going to do it every day,
Yeah.
twice a day. So when
Mhm.
you do that, then try doing it on one foot and
Yeah.
then shift over to the other foot. Just
Yeah.
a couple of seconds, but it kind of gives that, oh, okay. So and I noticed it's just like it gets your core engaged.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Like you're trying to multitask all of these things happening at the same time, but, yeah, I thought it was a great tip because it's an easy way to integrate it
Yeah.
into an already busy life.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was just a popular book that was out last year, the Atomic Habits and Tiny Habits
Yeah.
by another Stanford doctor. And yeah, what a great idea. 2 minutes. And you know what, Carol? This happens to all of us getting older. That balance, it just slowly, if we don't maintain it,
Mhm.
we're going to be in big trouble once we
Yeah.
get to those big numbers. So we really got to start now and just put the 2 minutes in, build up to 5 minutes, and it doesn't, not all at once, but if we can do it throughout our day like
Mhm.
that, it
Yeah.
we're
Uh,
gonna see the rewards and the benefits as we
yeah.
get to our 80s.
Agreed. Well, even during the day at work, right? I have a stand-up desk as a lot of us do. I
Yeah.
mean, easy enough if you're reading something, boom, stand on one leg. As
Yeah.
you're reading something, you're reading your email, whatever, then shift over to the other one. And I don't know if it's just knowing that there's something in front of me that I can grab, but I find I need it less if there's something around. If there's nothing around me, then I'm wobbling all over the place. So it's funny the tricks that your mind plays,
Yeah.
right? This conscious thought thing that, oh, I can't do this. Right? We lock into it, but now there's something in front of me. So it's like, oh yeah, I can do this, no problem, because I got the safety of the the
And
desk or the edge. I don't know.
and not to have those, bad thoughts in your head like, oh, I suck at yoga, or
Right.
my balance is terrible or whatever. Just, oh yeah, I'm a little off today, what's
Yeah.
that all about? And just go to the other side. Oh, this side's better today. Oh, maybe it'll be better, when I try it again after supper, before bed. Just keep it light and not,
Yeah.
judge it so much. Just an awareness that, yeah, it's a bit off today, but maybe it'll be better the next time.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because what we need to do, especially when it comes to things like this, like yoga, instead of judging ourselves harshly, like you just pointed out, is really just look at them like you would, say, indicator lights in a car, right? If
Yeah.
something pops up, you're not staring at it all the time, but if it pops up, it's telling you, hey, you got to pay attention to this.
Right.
Right? Oh, your high beams are on, or hey, the engine light, like Penny and Big Bang, right?
Yeah. Like sticker on it. I love that.
Right? So it's like, but if the engine light just all of a sudden comes on, are we gonna or whatever? We might freak out for a second, but you're gonna pull over and you're gonna do something about it,
Right. Yeah.
right? Instead of just dwelling on, oh, my engine light was on.
Yeah.
But what did you do? Well, you got to take action. So it's really just little indicators, right? Like you
Mhm.
said, oh, this leg seems to be better today. Okay, maybe I'll try the other one. Oh, not so solid, or whatever, right? We just look at those as feedback that our body is giving us and giving us an opportunity to try something different.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, what about when people come at you and they say, "Come at you"? When people bring it, when people say, "I listen, I have some sort of body challenge that I'm concerned about. Can I? Should I do yoga? How does that work?"
Yeah. Always check, make sure that, because I not everybody can do yoga, but there, that being said, I did have a student that said, doctor said no. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
if you definitely have that direction from your doctor,
Mhm.
definitely
Yeah.
uh, go with that.
Yeah.
But you can do yoga right here, sitting in a chair, standing up on your mat, in bed,
Yeah.
even in a
Yeah.
hospital bed. So, again, it's just getting back to the breath and movement. That's all we're doing. Just bringing that knee in towards your heart, just opening up your hips. You
Mhm.
can do that anywhere. So, again, take it slow. If that doesn't really work for you today, try it again later, or, you know, go on to the next pose.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, I go ahead. Yeah.
yoga is for everyone. And that's what I want to get across to everybody. I'm
Oh,
passionate about it, just sharing it with everybody. I do chair yoga for seniors uh, in the park here up north, and just having a great time.
yeah. That's
And
amazing. Well, I
yeah,
know that we did chair yoga on the 35-minute class, and it was, I loved it. It was awesome. It was interesting to me too because it brought to mind, well, hang on a second. This isn't just for seniors. This is great stuff that somebody can do when they've been sitting at a desk, programmers and people that do, when they're staring at a screen all day, to be taking like a 1 or 2 minute break and doing some of these movements is game changing. I mean, talk about releasing, it's just opening the release valve a little bit, right?
yeah,
Just letting it squeak out and then, okay, get back at it. That's fine. But, you can do it while you're sitting.
yeah, absolutely. And we talked about doing it while we're traveling as well.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Tell that story, please.
Yeah. So if you're on a plane or in a car, wherever you're stationary, you can just kind of move from side to side. And then if you're on a plane and you have a stranger beside you and you really want to freak them out, just get into that twist and just stare at them, see what happens. Maybe you make a friend. I don't know. But and then just change it to the other side.
Or the stewardess comes, the flight attendant, sorry, comes over and changes you to another seat.
Yeah, so those you can definitely do, and then bringing the knee in towards your heart
Yeah.
as well. That might be the only space that you have, depending on
Yeah.
which if you're in economy or or what class you're on in the plane. But and then you can maybe put your leg over top of your other leg and open up a hip
Yeah.
too.
Especially on those long trips, right? Where circulation is really it gets limited, right? I mean,
It's
so
hard
you
on
need, yeah. I'm
yeah,
sorry?
it's hard on your bodies
Yeah,
being stagnant. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, and in the 35 minutes when you start the class, right away you start every class with an essential oil.
Hmm.
Talk to me about that.
What oils do, what smell does, is brings you into the right here, right now. So into the and if you've ever smelt anything, maybe your grandma's apple pie, it takes you right back to childhood. So that's kind of what essential oils is all about. It's just bringing you into the right here, right now. And I love starting a class. I don't have my bracelets on right now, but I have aromatherapy beads on my bracelets as well. And you just put a little bit of oil on that, and it stays with you for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Or you just put a couple drops on your wrists,
Mhm.
and you just activate it, bring it up towards your face, inhale it a few times. Yeah. So it's just one of those senses just to bring you into the right here, right now, Carol. At
Yeah.
starting classes like that.
So when you select an oil, is it just an intuitive thing? It's just
It is.
whatever. Yeah.
It is. And every day is different.
Mhm.
Every week's different. Right now, I'm on a kick about lemon. Was last week, peppermints this week. I was having a heck of a headache on the weekend, and I don't know if this ever happens to you, Carol. You know these things, and then you forget sometimes. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, what's going on with this headache? Why won't it leave me? Oh,
I
I've got
know.
tapping in my back pocket. Why don't I try that and some essential oils?
Yeah.
Boom. 10 minutes later, it's over with.
Gone.
Never
Yeah.
returned.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I was putting up with it. It was just silliness. Um, so there, there's so many benefits to essential oils if you're able to use them. I know,
Right. It just
yeah.
depends on what you're trying to zero in, I guess, in that whatever your intention is for that particular session.
I have one friend that she has crazy young boys cruising around her whole house, calms her right down at night. It's amazing, and it works.
That's amazing.
Ah,
And it's true.
first note
Yeah.
that lavender goes on in the house. Yeah.
They all go zen. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so when you're talking about it, I mean, the themes and stuff, let's talk a little bit about you've got a challenge going on right now, the 4-week challenge, which is awesome. You are on live for at least 10 minutes. It varies, right? Every day. It just depends on however spirit moves you. But it's really cool because you get on at 8:30 Monday to Friday, and you're dealing with a theme every day. So, what are the themes? Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So Monday is Mindful Monday, Touch Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday,
Mhm.
Thirsty Thursday, and Fun Friday. So Mindful Monday, we just kind of set up the week. So it's a little bit more about intention, gratitude, the breath,
Mhm.
and a little bit of movement if we have time. Tuesday is about touch. The last 2 weeks I've talked about the tapping like I just did.
Yep.
And that that goes back to the story I told about my spiritual leaders as well. I did tapping on and off for years as well. And, all my spiritual leaders were doing it. Wayne Dyer, Louise, and Izana Van Sant.
Yeah.
Izana,
Ayanla Van Zant. Yeah. I know it's hard
and,
to.
like all of those guys were doing it. I'm like, well, what's this all about? But like anything else, you have to
Mhm.
be consistent with it.
Right.
I wasn't consistent with it. Now I have been for the last 5 years, and it's made a big difference. For sure.
Right. It's stacked habits, right? The power of stacked habits, right? You were talking about atomic habits and tiny habits a second ago. It really is.
It
That's
is.
key. It is key. You can't go to the gym for like a week and then go, well, I'm not really getting anything out of it. Well,
Yeah,
hang on a second.
doesn't work.
No, it's got to be right. Or, oh, I just hurt myself. Well, no, then no, that's not the point, right? Or, oh, I'm going to be sore tomorrow. Well, then don't do that. Doctor, it hurts when I do that. Don't do that. Right. So, exactly. So, you had, and that, what I like too about this challenge is that they're great little bite-sized pieces that you
Mhm.
share, right? It's just enough to kind of give us food for thought, if you will, and and you do get into the movements and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and it's a progression, right? So this is really cool. Today's the 13th. I think we're kind of smack dab in the middle of the challenge, so people still have a chance to join.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be putting the link in the comments because it's in your link tree, or and can you go to zenwithjen.org as well and sign up there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there'll be
Okay.
a pop up there that you can
Yeah.
to
And
join.
if you're not able to make it at 8:30, like I haven't been able to this week, but I'm happy that they're on your page. So I
Yeah.
just go back to the page, I catch the replays, which is great. So then I
So
can I can do it at my convenience.
and if you do sign up, and just
Yep.
let me know that yeah you're interested,
Mhm.
and I send an email every afternoon saying, hey, this is what I did this morning. Maybe you have time later on to check out what I did
Fantastic.
today, what we learned. Yeah, so then it goes on till Wellness Wednesday, and that's usually around the essential oils that
Yes.
I bring in.
Mhm.
And Thursday, we talked about putting essential oils in your water or any kind of live thing to activate your water. It's actually very hard on your gut just having dead water in there. You've Brited everything out of it,
Yeah.
and it's very hard on your gut. But if you can put just something a little live in your water to help with digestion,
That was
it's
such a great tip. I love that tip. I was not aware of that, and I was always, "I'm not getting enough water in me, blah, blah, blah." And then I noticed that as soon as I added a little bit of, grapefruit oil,
Mhm.
it
Nice.
did make a difference. It felt like I don't know, I just felt like I was processing it, right? It just seems weird, but it seems weird to say that, but yeah. Because see, here's the thing is that I was always, my thing is I need to get at least 16 ounces of water in me before I have my coffee.
Perfect. Yeah.
But when I was doing it with the dead water, as you called it, um, it was, "Oh my gosh, this is such a chore," and I actually felt bloated.
Yeah.
So then but then I thought, "Oh, okay, well, then I'll get to have my coffee." Well, that didn't help either, but then when I started doing this, and this was just last week that you suggested this, and I've been doing it since, what a difference.
Yeah.
It
You probably enjoy it more,
I
right?
do.
Just
Yeah. It's got
yeah.
this nice little freshness to it, and yeah, it's quite interesting. It's a great, great tip, and I know you've got tons more because there's a treasure trove, like, sitting between those ears, man. So, now you mentioned the tapping solution.
Yes.
With headaches. So can you speak a little to tapping?
Yeah, there's an app for tapping called the Tapping Solution, and there's got everything on there, Carol. Any Anywhere from headaches or just anxiety, better sleep. Um, I don't like to travel. It
Oh,
just goes on and on. There's so much. It's a huge library of information. I love it, and the best part of my day is when I open up that app and they have a little saying for the day. So just Jessica Ortner just goes on about, just reminding you of some meaning, uh, just to be grateful or something going on every day. And it starts your day just so, already up here. And then just getting into the tapping as well.
fantastic.
So on my link there,
Yeah.
link tree, Carol,
Mhm.
is a, a button to hit for 14 free trial,
Yeah,
14
14-day. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
free. So if you use that button, so
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
it'll take you right to it, and I just had a quick look. I'll be downloading that right after, actually.
yeah,
This yeah,
tell me about it.
super fascinated with tapping. It is quite effective, isn't it? And I
Mhm.
think the whole idea behind tapping, if I understand correctly, is just to hit on meridian points, right? Do
Right.
different meridian points while you're reaffirming
Hmm. Yeah,
something.
and if people don't know what meridian points are, and that's a whole different kind of podcast right there. We won't even get
Yeah.
into it. But
Yeah.
just think of it as acupuncture pressure points. There's about 8 or 9 of them that you can use: side of the face, underneath
Yeah.
the eye.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter exactly where you are or exactly how many times you tap, as
Yeah.
long as
You're
you're just
touching it.
clearing. We're just clearing that energy that's in
Right.
the body,
Right.
top of the head.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Actually, now that you mentioned that, I'm gonna have to look at that because we had a little conversation off camera that I'm not gonna repeat here. See, it just what goes to show, right? We know these things, but
yeah,
do we do it?
yeah.
Right? Anyways, so this has just been an amazing conversation, and the class I know everybody is going to absolutely love. So, before we wrap up, any words you'd like to share with us, Jen, on yoga and how we can get out of our own way? I
Yeah.
know I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, just take. we've said this before, just take it easy. Like, this is the nice thing about the challenge that I'm doing right now. It's, 4 weeks, we're barely halfway through. There's lots of time left. This has been building up. I was saying last week, this is not a one night stand, people. We're
Nice.
taking our time. We're making a relationship in this. And the whole goal to this challenge is that you'll have these tools of yoga in your back pocket for, whenever during the day, that you just need a little bit of a stretch, opening up, bring fresh air back into your body, bring that energy in, especially first thing in the morning. I love to just get it done, because when we sleep at night, Carol, it's like we shrink wrap.
Right.
So we got to get all that stuff off us and
Right.
start our day. So if we can do a little bit of movement, even if it's gentle, and the breath, and warming the spine up back and forth,
Amazing.
opening up the side body very quickly. So my goal for this challenge is just to give you those tools, whether you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you got. Move your body, breathe, and then you can start your day, and you can come back to it whenever you can.
Fabulous. And how can people get a hold of you, and how can they work with you? Where are you located when you're back north?
I'm located just outside of Chatham, Ontario, and I have my own yoga practice online. Also, in the summertime, I'm outside, which is the best place to do yoga. Just out in nature is my favorite. So there is free classes um, in Mitchell's Bay, where I live, on
Amazing.
Saturday mornings and Monday evenings. That's that Yin Yoga I was talking to you.
Ah, the
This
Monday? Okay.
Monday night. So
Okay.
that's all outside. I do have classes that I'm um, routine at Just Breathe Yoga Studio in
Mhm.
Chatham, Ontario, as well, if you want to come see me in Chatham. And yeah, of course, I'm online. And throughout the year, I do have a yoga course that I launch right now. It's just kind of resting, and I'm tweaking it right now. And it'll probably be launching again in the fall time. But if you're on my subscription, and you'll get all that information, any updates that are coming up.
Perfect. Okay, and they can sign up for your newsletter, be subscribed on through the Linktree link, correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Jen, I can't thank you enough. This has been so great. You are so generous with your time, your spirit, your energy. I just love you to bits. You know I do.
I love
And,
you.
I and actually, oh, and so happy you're also a member of Badass Coaching. So great to have you on board. It's amazing.
It's so much fun.
Because
I'm learning so
she
much from
is
you
a
too.
badass. I love it.
I'm learning so much from you too. It's a great group. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun for sure. So, in any case, this has been amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All the links are going to be below in the comments as soon as we wrap up here. Jen, mwah, big big
Carol.
hugs, big kiss. Enjoy the sunshine, you
So
lucky
much
dog.
fun. Thanks, Carol.
Take
You're a
care.
badass.
I try. See you later.
Bye.